Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide, and in today's video we are checking out the update 3.16 on the Remarkable platform. This is the Remarkable Paper Pro, but we are going to check both Remarkable Paper Pro and the Remarkable 2 because unlike the tradition that we have had now for a while, with Remarkable updates being kind of really small and really insignificant and inching around, 3.16 is actually a little bit of a different beast, and this is an important update. So let's check it out. And here is the release 3.16. Now this is the latest beta, which to my understanding is basically the same as the final release that's being rolled out. Unfortunately, I still haven't received the full release version on my own personal Remarkable Paper Pro, but on this one I've turned it on to beta so that I can get it and then we can actually see what the features are. And more importantly, I kind of thought that this would be a really good opportunity to have a direct back-to-back comparison just to see what the improvements are regarding the contrast filtering in PDFs, because that is one of the main things that is a part of this update, but it's not the only one. So the contrast filter for PDFs is now completely revamped and reconfigured, and it's now smarter because it understands which parts of the pages are images, which are text, and it will selectively apply on a single page different types of solutions, which is a very advanced thing to kind of see. Then they're saying try different settings and see whether the text looks clearer and the visuals more vibrant. For example, dark blues will no longer appear black on the display, and that's something that we will check out with the color chart that I used previously prior to this update. While you can insert empty pages in PDF documents, so this is something that we could do from a long time ago, you could only have it as an empty page, but now it seems like they are finally adding layer options and the templates for those inserted pages in PDF documents, and that boosts productivity on the Remarkable device really significantly. Then lastly, we also have track your tags, where you can organize notes is easier when you have system for tagging documents, notebooks, or single pages. Now you can look up a keyword like crossword or newspaper by searching for it. I'm really kind of confused because I thought that this functionality was already there, but if it wasn't, then I guess it's good that it's there. And then you have other improvements, unlock your paper tablet in a faster, more secure way. Now that the digits you press don't linger, I guess people can't really read your PIN code then. We fixed the symbol menu for the type folio, so you can use control keys, control alt and space to get the option of the symbol menu, and light and gentle marker strokes are registered better, making it even more precise and to the point. Okay, so that's what 3.16 brings to the table. Let's see how the color filtering actually stacks up and how it compares to the prior version. All right, so on the left-hand side, you have the update 3.15. On the right-hand side, we have the update 3.16. And I'm going to open the same exact document that we have here. So the color sheet, I'm gonna open it up on both of them. And already now I can see that it's way better than what we had before. Let's set them both to the same type of contrast filter. So it is no longer called contrast filter, it's called increase contrast, okay? But it's the same icon, it's the same type of functionality. So let's turn it off on both of them and just observe the difference. And this is exactly what I was talking about that we need to have in the Remarkable, but with the color gamut here and this document and the back-to-back comparison, I think that we can see dramatic improvement in the rendering of colors. The colors on 3.16 update version are way denser and far more saturated and more well defined. Especially the blue one that's going towards a violet. It's really a stark difference across actually the whole hue. I mean, all of the red is a bit more magenta though. That is something that has been changed. It's less red now. This one was orange, more orange. It wasn't red. Red is really difficult for these devices to do. But the rest of them, especially the blues, are quite nicer, even though they also have a bit more of the reddishness. But most importantly, the rendering of darker colors and rendering of lighter colors has been improved significantly. Now, let's check the other options. So previously we had on or optimized, optimized for text, or automatic, which would just be for the full page. So it now no longer works like that. Now it can be full page, which was always full page there, or adaptive, which is intelligent and it kind of understands what's what. We'll test that on a different document. But here, let's try for a full page. I guess that was on, optimized for text. And even here we can see that that optimization has been changed. It is aggressive, so if it's for text, it is far more aggressive than what it was before. As you can see that it eats up way more, especially of the grayscale and the colors here. But on the dark section, it's less aggressive. So for text, yeah, it's a different calibration. We'll see how that translates into text. And if I go to let's see, automatic is going to just switch to the previous option, and here adaptive is probably going to recognize that this is a color and turn it off. Yeah, so the rendering of colors is different on 316. They are way more saturated, but the red hues have seen a change where they're shifting a little bit more to magenta, and that does affect the hues here that are using red tint as well. I guess it's a personal preference who likes what, but the overall impression is that the colors are stronger. But far more importantly, the adaptive contrast filter is now allowing the device to actually render the colors correctly. All right, so here we are on the same page using the same document, just to compare how does the new contrast actually work with combined. This is exactly the situation where we have combined images and text. So I'm going to go into, this is adaptive contrast, and this is without the contrast turned on. So let's see if I can see anything that's different here. In this type of an example, not really. This is just a pure image. There we go. This is a difficult thing. It's very similar to what we had before with the contrast off. Okay, here I'm starting to see a difference where it's actually, oh, and I'm actually noticing way less yellowishness on the new one. So there is a difference of that type as well. I think they managed to lower the yellowishness of the white and improve the whiteness of it. Maybe that has to do with that contrast filtering, that it's kind of trying to figure things out. Oh, there we go. We see the redness. So the red pigment is definitely stronger on the new update. And in very small texts, yeah, they are managing the yellows as well quite a lot better, because I'm not really sure if the camera can pick it up, but the whiteness of the display is now massively improved. When you see, especially on this one, you really see the difference quite significantly. So let's see, the refresh methodology, the blinkiness and everything is very similar between them, so they haven't worsened or improved that part. Yeah, for me, I think that the contrasts being perceived as better is the fact that the whiteness has been made less yellow in the update 316. And overall, yeah, but overall it just kind of works like that. Okay, so let's go back to the cheetah image and change the contrast option to full page. So now that it's full page, yep, it pops things quite a bit more. And in this one, if I put it to on, optimized for text, I prefer the character here mainly because of the background, because it just provides for a nicer type of a look. And basically automatic here would understand this is an image, so it would turn it off. When I have them back to back, update 315, update 316, absolutely there's an improvement, a massive improvement on the 316. What about black and white content? So in this case, the rendering of MDO, my daily organizer, and I have contrast filtering turned off on both of them. So this is like with contrast filtering turned off to see what it looks like. And I think that you can see clearly, hopefully the camera captures, because the difference is really significant. From the light grayishness in this section, it's not visible here, it is visible there. The dark gray is far more pronounced here, and we have the gamut of colors where the Sunday and Saturday are darker grays and Monday to Friday are light gray, while here they were white and light gray for the weekends. But the biggest impression of all is basically the background color, which is now far better. All right, so let's get to some different type of date here in different pages. This is very consistent. Weeks have very defined boxes. Yeah, now you can clearly see that even in the header, even though it's not ideal, it's very pale. It's supposed to be more pronounced, and especially the lines and the fonts are supposed to be way more pronounced. We do have the rendering of colors is far improved than it is on the update 3.15. The new page, which is also a feature that is an important one. So previously when we had the new page, I just had new layers, but now we have the templates as well. So previously, if I had a week, for example, here, and I wanted to insert a page to add more content, then the only thing that I could work with is an empty page, and there was a workaround where you could copy paste the page with the template and then you could work with it. But it was clunky because it was a workaround. Now you no longer have to do that because you have your regular templates that you can use in the new pages that have been added to a document, which is really cool, because now I can add as many pages as I want to my MDO. And that is a very powerful addition to something like this, mainly because adding these pages, well, it didn't used to break functionality. Let's see if it still works fine. Yep, works. Everything's perfectly fine. So I think we were in week 15 maybe, or who knows which week, maybe week here. I think this is the one. Yep. And everything works perfectly fine. So this is a really important addition that I think completes the overall experience. Let's use the same pen to see the same type of experience. So all of the same. Yep. Yeah, there is a very fine, I mean, you have to barely touch, and this is more responsive in that area. I don't know who would use it at that super low level, but apparently they have it covered, and that definitely there is a difference that can be perceived between the two. And let's see, what does the symbols menu say? So yep, when I press the Control-Alt-Space, I can get the access to the symbols menu. Let's lower it down so that you can maybe see it. I don't know at which angle it's better. Maybe like this. I'll hold it so that you don't see the reflection of the light. But yeah, then you have a easy access to different symbols menu. On the Remarkable 2, this is the same situation. Left hand side update 3.15, right hand side update 3.16. You didn't have that adjustable contrast filter, so there's nothing really to work with, but we can actually just see if they have worked on improving the rendering of the colors, because there was a problem, and it still is present, that the rendering of the content, for example, here when it's thin in MDO, it's much more pale than it actually should be. I can see some improvements, that there's a little bit of a contrast popping going on a little bit more, which is a good thing to see, but it's so mild that it doesn't really make such a big difference. I mean, for example, there's some inconsistency going here, because the text here, week 18, week 17, should be pretty much almost the same as the notes, but the notes here are much more paler than they are in the document. And the same thing here, the rendering of the lines is good in this section, but if you go back into 2024, you can see that everything is far more pale, which just speaks to how the calibration has been done with that colors and everything else. We'll check that as well, because I'm really curious to see if there is a difference. Here I can see the difference, definitely. So in this weekly one, I can definitely see the difference, that there's a bit more clarity, a bit more contrast, and a bit more crispiness on the version with the 316 than the one with the 315. And just to kind of verify if there is a change or not, I think that it's very difficult to notice, but I think that this quadrant here is what we're talking about, these two, and they do, at least from my viewing angle where I'm looking at them now, it does appear that there is a bit of a small difference. Whether or not that's just a purely subjective kind of thing, it's entirely possible, because the similarities are really close. But what I do notice for sure, and I don't know if that's like a ghosting thing or not, but the density of the display of the image, basically there's less graininess. There's quite a bit of graininess here going on in this section, and actually in all of the colors, while here throughout all of the colors there's less of the grainy quality. Let me try and show what I mean when we bring this up. So this is 315, and you should see the grains here quite clearly. And if I bring in the 316, same kind of boxes, they are far more consistent and kind of filled in. I don't know if that's a difference between different devices and different screen panels, or is it due to the update that is different, but that difference is something that I very clearly notice between these two. And just to illustrate and use a reference point just so you can see what I'm talking about, here's Go 10.3, same exact document, and the Remarkable 2 with the update 316. So this is the improved and updated version, which is improved previously, but it's still not as good as the competitors, right? So you can see how crisp and clear the lines are. Doesn't matter that this is a 300 ppi thing, it works the same on the Supernote as well. It's just that it's charging at the moment, and this one's already charged, so it's easier to show it this way. But you can see that the just the range of the grayscale is more dynamic, and it's bigger range and more accurate than it is on the Remarkable platform. And that goes throughout, this one is turned off, so like this. So you can actually clearly see, even in pages that look okay on the Remarkable, they are better looking on a device that is able to have all of the stuff displayed correctly. And here we have that very distinct differentiation between gray box background and nice dark contrasting text, while the text here on the Remarkable, on the thinner fonts, it's still really pale, and it just doesn't really have a correct representation of what the content is. So while it has been improved, and definitely color-wise it has been improved dramatically, the grayscale area, especially on the Remarkable 2, definitely has a room for even further improvement. So it's moving in the right direction, but it's not there yet. Well, it's been high time to actually say the words associated with the Remarkable update, which are Well, that's a very interesting and promising and long-awaited update to have seen on the Remarkable platform. Yay, finally it is happening. I'm just really hoping and crossing my fingers on my hands and on my toes that this is just the beginning and an inkling of maybe a change in direction and commitment regarding what Remarkable is doing with their products. It's genuinely impressive to see the step up that we've seen between 3.15 and 3.16 with the image quality and how it functions on the Remarkable Paper Pro. So I expected some change, but two things really surprised me, especially with Remarkable Paper Pro. But the saturation and the density of the color and the uniformity of the color rendering is simply on a very different level. And the second thing that really surprised me, especially because I had them back to back, which is a unique opportunity to actually have and see that right there at the same time, is the difference in calibration of the white color and how that is reflected between just a update. While my old one is now like super yellowish and it kind of seems, I don't know, dirty and something like that when compared to the background image and the whiteness of the other device, which is updated to 3.16. So that alone is really exciting. But when you actually put into play that they finally introduced the templates in the blank page that's inserted into a document, that is a long-awaited thing and something that a lot of people have requested for a long time. And that actually puts the Remarkable platform, Remarkable 2, 1, or Paper Pro, it doesn't matter because they all are getting this type of functionality. That puts this device into a category of its own because it's the only one currently on the market that can actually do something like that. Granted, you can simulate that type of stuff in other platforms by importing, for example, MDO or MMP or any kind of hyperlink PDF file. You can import it into notebooks and then use it this way. Well, Remarkable is doing it the other way. Remarkable is starting to add notebook functionalities, or basically allowing you to add notebook pages and pages with some of the notebook functionalities into the documents, which is an interesting thing to see, that you can attack the problem from two different sides. Either way, I think that this is a really important update. I haven't experienced any bugs or anything here when I was testing it, and that genuinely does make me happy to actually finally see and then be able to make a video where I am genuinely happy and excited about what the update for the Remarkable has brought. And yeah, update 3.16, pretty impressive. Alright, I hope that you found the video interesting and or informative. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. Also remember to visit mydeepguide.com/shop, where you can find MDO 2025, 2026 and MMP, both of which are hyperlinked PDF files that help you organize all of your personal or professional or meeting needs. More info in the description below if you're interested in. Just know that purchasing either of these products directly helps support independence of My Deep Guide, so I'm very thankful for that. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!